Guatemala is the northernmost country in Central America. It is located about 3,000 miles from Dallas, Texas. It is a country of great variety and beauty, with many mountains and lakes. Most of the people are Indian and speak Spanish, although 20 Indian language are also spoken. Corn and black beans are the main food, and coffee is the most common beverage. For several years, the people have been caught in the conflict that rages between the guerrillas and the government forces. The villagers want peace. They do not like war. They want to grow their crops, raise their families, and live in freedom. Oscar Castillo is a Church of God minister in Guatemala. He preaches and teaches God's love. He does not want his people to suffer. He wants to introduce them to the love of Christ. Brother Castillo travels in his van from town to town, visiting churches and telling people about Jesus. He tells them, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." John 3:16. One day, Brother Castillo left his home in Santa Cruz de Quiche and drove to a neighboring town. Suddenly, he saw a roadblock. Guerrilla forces stopped his van and told him to get out. Silently, he prayed, asking God for protection. He knew that the guerrillas and the government forces had killed several of his fellow ministers. Only God could take care of him. As he stood by the road, he heard the guerrillas talking. They wanted to set his van on fire so that he could not travel and preach the gospel. As he listened and watched, he prayed. One of the men poured gasoline all over the inside of the van. The soldiers backed away. A match was lit and thrown inside of the van. The gasoline burst into flames. Suddenly, the flames stopped. The guerrillas could not believe their eyes. The flames burned the gasoline, but the inside of the van was not burned. A guerrilla suggested pouring gasoline on the tires and burning them. He knew rubber burned. The tires were soaked with gasoline. Woo! The flames rose high, but the tires did not burn, only the gasoline. This made the guerrillas angry. They poured gasoline on the tank, set it on fire, and waited for an explosion. But nothing happened. The gas tank did not explode. In disgust, the leader told his men to push the van off the side of the mountain. They pushed the van off the road into the sand, and they could not push it any farther. Finally, the guerrillas dented the van, broke the windows, and left it. Brother Castillo got into his van and drove away. God had protected him and the van from harm. Now, when Brother Castillo drives through the area of the roadblock, the people say, "There goes the van that won't burn. That's God's van."